Who is it? It is Hurricane Hood News and Reviews bringing you in the house again. Said the pack of man. Ladies and gentlemen, from the left, right, we back again. Who is it? It is Hurricane Hood News and Reviews bringing you in the house again. Yeah, we going back again, we going back again, we going back again. For the very first time, don't worry if I write checks, I write rhymes. Yep, let's take it back to the HHN Special Report. And it's time to go. Smoke bitches, fucking caviar. Getting physical. Fucking bitches all over the world. I'm high like a motherfucker already. But you already know. We about to do some news all over the world. You know what I'm saying? But before we do that, we got to take it back. Shouts out to Jordan. Empire. The rebellion. The alliance.
Bringing it back, so cold with the flows when I spit it on tracks. Writing hardcore lyrics, gotta put it on wax. We can't tell lies with these spitting effects. Most rappers is trash and they do it for cash. I do it for the love with this lyrical blast. Going fast like flash when I'm whipping your ass. Let me slow it down quick, this a blast from the past. Underground flows with an old school vibe. Not your head to the beat and remember the rhyme. Real music, you can hear it, you can never deny. Hurricane and join and act when we be keeping it live. From Detroit to Savannah, let the whole world see. Midwest, Southern soul, make the people believe. Spinning revolution lyrics so my people be free. Throw your hands in. Yeah, if you rollin' with me, underground sound that goes down in Motown. Straight to your town, smoke a pound, we smoke clouds. Cold sound, everybody know what goes down. Underground sound, yeah, we bringing it back now. Tell them, Jay. Bringing it back. Bringing it back. Hey, back to the underground. To the underground, where it comes from. Back to the underground, to where it comes from. Back to
hit the like button on the way in. HHN bars.
Hey, bring it back.
Shout out to Jordan. Shout out to the vibe. You vibing. I always say shout out to the vibe. It's the frequency, the energy. Much better my God is vibe to my UK correspondent. Salute, live and learn. Let's go.
We going back again, spinning magic just like a paladin. Yeah, we gotta win. The underground is back again. For the ancestors, it's time to take it back again. Spinning magic just like a paladin. Yeah, we gotta win. The underground is back again. For my ancestors. This that underground sound. This that underground sound. This that underground sound. It's time to take it back now. This that underground sound. This that underground sound. This that underground sound. It's time to take it back now. Underground sound. This that underground sound. This that underground sound. It's time to take it back now.
Friday high day.
This that underground sound.
The Empire.
This that underground sound.
The rebellion.
This that underground sound. It's time to take it back now.
You already know what it is.
Sound master, slow and I got the fast. Sound master, slow and I got the fast. Sound master, slow and I got the fast. The bad, the little bunker, this is where I cast you. Sound master, slow and I got the fast. Sound master, slow and I got the fast. Sound master, slow and I got the fast. The bad, the little bunker, this is where I cast you. Sound master, slow and I got the fast. Sound master, slow and I got the fast. Sound master, slow and I got the fast. The bad, the little bunker, this is where I cast you. Style master, ripping these damn bastards. Blast master, quicker than spell casters. Magic flows, I cast your soul to the fire in your bitch, then your bitch explode.
Where do hurricane with all these tragic flows?
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to smash some hoes.
What's this beef with this government? I have to know.
I don't know, but the people bitches have to go. Let's go, Detroit flow, street so cold. Get stomped in the club cause the beat so cold. Quid pro quo, hit you with the hypno flow. Off the clip in the blade, bullets rip your soul. Tic-tac-toe, free but connect that flow. 34 rounds, yeah, you fucking rest that bro. Check that flow, fuck that, wreck that hoe. Government try to kill us, can't let that go.
Style master, slow and I got the fast. Style master, slow and I got the fast. Style master, slow and I got the fast. The bad, the drunk of business from my cash. Style master, slow and I got the fast. Style master, slow and I got the fast. Style master, slow and I got the fast. The bad, the drunk of business from my cash.
Straight blaster, I am the style master. Grip slow, but they want me to go faster. Not yet, I'm taking your profit. Hacking everything and leaving the hot jet. Real leaders getting killed with the heater. Blood on my shoes, I just bought these Adidas. Call my mama Sita, tell her to bring me some sneakers. And the gun I left by the speaker. Yes, I'm a drinker. See my girl, hey, mama mia. We about to snipe fans from a Kia. Yeah, I never leave her. The cute assassin chick like Nikita. They two together, that's why I keep her. Smoking on the cheaper, shooting at the sleepers. From the government, send them all to the reaper. Drinking on the leader, yeah, I'm down the deeper. In the bad chick while we blowing up Geneva.
Style master, slow and I got the fast. Style master, slow and I got the fast. Style master, slow and I got the fast. The bad, the drunk of business from my cash. Style master, slow and I got the fast. Style master, slow and I got the fast. Style master, slow and I got the fast. The bad, the drunk of business from my cash. Style master, slow and I got the fast. Style master, slow and I got the fast. Style master, slow and I got the fast. The bad, the drunk of business from my cash. Style master, slow and I got the fast.
Very important to the album.
Style master, slow and I got the fast. Style master, slow and I got the fast. The bad, the drunk of business from my cash. Style master, slow and I got the fast. Style master, slow and I got the fast. Style master, slow and I got the fast. The bad, the drunk of business from my cash. Style master, slow and I got the fast. Style master, slow and I got the fast. Style master, slow and I got the fast. The bad, the drunk of business from my cash.
Salute. Shout out to everybody. You already know what it is. And, you know, yeah, dog. Like that was important for the album. Like I had to put it on there because that shit brings out the album. You know, shit. You know, it's called Style Master. You know, it's a different type of beat. It got like a little wave rap type of vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like real shit. Without my verse, that bitch could be played in the club. You know, like it'd be played in the club with or without my verse. That's what makes that beat cold. It can't be. It goes with it perfectly. You motherfucker, you know, shit. You put that shit at the right motherfucking spot. I know you was probably motherfucking. You probably stretched the shit out that motherfucking beat. I mean, out my verse, and motherfucker had to drag it over inch by inch. Like, nope, that shit's still off by a second. Bring it over some more milliseconds. All right, we should be back. Oh man, this some bullshit. This some bullshit. Hope everything play cool now. I hope y'all can hear me. But fuck the haters, dog. We gotta play it. Fuck YouTube.
Hey, you know what it is.
Phenom Rogue One Productions.
Gotta get the money, staying on the grind. Got a bad chick, hell yeah, she looking fine. Haters looking at me with the envy in their eyes. Catch your ass slipping, I'ma hit you with the 9. Gotta get the money, staying on the grind. Got a bad chick, hell yeah, she looking fine. Haters looking at me with the envy in their eyes. Catch your ass slipping, I'ma hit you with the 9. Haters everywhere. Looking at a player, envy in their eyes, man, I see this shit everywhere. Lots of different players. Gotta bring the flair. Hardcore match, I'ma beat you with a chair. Get your own chick, why you won't mind? Get your ass mad cause you can't pull a dime. Pussy ass niggas can't even spit a rhyme. No ambitions, you don't even got a life. I make music, you don't even got a life. Music is the weapon, I don't even gotta fight. Climbed up in darkness, but I'm showing you the light. Blast at the haters, got running for their life. This is my life, call my own lane. Y'all just mad cause you can't do the same. Get it through your brain, I'm the hurricane. Gotta win in the fucking storm and the flame. Gotta get the money, staying on the grind. Got a bad chick, hell yeah, she looking fine. Haters looking at me with the envy in their eyes. Catch your ass slipping, I'ma hit you with the 9. Gotta get the money, staying on the grind. Got a bad chick, hell yeah, she looking fine. Haters looking at me with the envy in their eyes. Catch your ass slipping, I'ma hit you with the 9. Haters everywhere, thinking they a threat. I'll be a threat when I hit you with the tech. Get your representing, baby, show me some respect. If you don't, I might have to break your fucking neck. Cops in the feds, y'all can get it too. Some of y'all haters is angels on the YouTube. Most of y'all are faggots, talking to some faggots. Clout taking clothes, I'ma stump you little maggots. Making haters panic, cause I'm going off. Hardcore lyrics, y'all bitch niggas soft. You a low level that's dealing with a boss. Pop you in the head if you working with the law. Don't got a life, that's your motherfucking crime. Got a bad chick, hell yeah, she looking fine. Haters looking at me with the envy in their eyes. Catch the gas slipping, I'ma hit them with the 9. Gotta get the money, staying on the grind. Got a bad chick, hell yeah, she looking fine. Haters looking at me with the envy in their eyes. Catch your ass slipping, I'ma hit you with the 9. Gotta get the money, staying on the grind. Got a bad chick, hell yeah, she looking fine. Haters looking at me with the envy in their eyes. Catch your ass slipping, I'ma hit you with the 9. Gotta get the money, staying on the grind. Got a bad chick, hell yeah, she looking fine. Haters looking at me with the envy in their eyes. Catch your ass slipping, I'ma hit them with the 9.
Now Rogue One Productions.
All right, let's get to the new track and then we're gonna get to the news. Another new exclusive.
Know what it is? With this blade I decapitate anybody walking the place. About to sink into a fire relate. Y'all going biblical, I'm raising the stakes. Used to be a slave, now I'm changing my face. Dark side of the hurricane, lighting the place. Up in the sky, hating you be dying today. All the cops in the feds getting shot in the face. Ain't playing no games, so get out of my way. Don't fuck with the government, it's not a debate. Destroy that paradigm when I walk in the place. Home picking all the trains when I pull out the cake. Please stop the revolution, better watch what you say. If you a scared little bitch, then get out of my way. If you a pacifist, then you better go pray. Cause the only guy here is the one that erased your soul and everybody that got in my way. I don't play, this is the rebellion. Kill them all, dog, kill them all. Till we fucking kill them all. This is the rebellion. Kill them all, dog, kill them all. Till we fucking kill them all. This is the rebellion. Walking with the weapon. Fucking with us, we gon' kill you in seconds. This is the rebellion. Kill them all, dog. This is the rebellion. And I eradicate anybody talking me fake. This bullet about to take off your face. Once the politics, I'm aiming to spray. All the fans in the military I ain't playing no games, kid, open the gate. Take everything, then we go be hacking the place. All the crimes that they do is a slap in the face. I'm a rebel, the severed heads, get out of my way. I'm up the C4 while I'm robbing the bay. GTA high shit, ain't nobody ready to take your life, bitch. Got a baby girl, she ready to slide quick. The damn thing, niggas is pussy. You ain't even gonna fight it, ho. Come around me, I'll take your fucking life. You haters believe that the government is right.
We back. God damn YouTube, dog. Like real shit. Like real fucking shit, dog. Can a motherfucker have a decent motherfucking life? It's like a motherfucker just get lucky. It's like sometimes it's majority of the time the shit is fucked up. It's like when everybody else can go live forever talking bullshit and get no fucking problems. But whenever we spit this motherfucking truth, we got to get the bullshit, the lagging. They freeze my chat. They kick me out. They fucking do the buffer. I got clear skies right now. Clear skies. Is a nice fucking day. My bars is up on my phone. Ain't no way in the fuck that the phone is fully upgraded. So ain't no way the fuck this shit be happening. You know, not only I'm shadow banned, but they fuck with my content. Like when it comes to like, you know, like interacting with y'all and shit. But like that was the end of the fucking song anyway. Like, you know, before it fucking went off and shit. But let's get to the news. Cause they on that bullshit. You already know what it is. We're going to the UK, baby.
Hi, I'm Amelia. I'm English, and I love England. I like having fish and chips and a pint at the local pub. I like Shakespeare and Dickens, Tolkien and Lewis, Harry Potter, like pork sausage and dogs and fashion. Haram! Haram! But I don't like that. Brits are famously polite, and the BBC are a bunch of queers and nonces. How the bloody hell did we go from Churchill to you git? Sadiq Khan the Mayor. This is London, mate, not Afghanistan. Or Star Wars. Our government won't even protect our schoolgirls from grooming gangs. Sod off, wankers! The police won't help. They're too busy confiscating garden tools and suppressing free speech.
That's right, miss. What have I done, officer? You've tweeted rudely, and you're under arrest.
What up, though, Charles? My motherfucking shit fucking up. It's like, goddamn. You know, they kicked me out the first time for like damn near 5 minutes. The second time, like 2 minutes. Now it's just, they just kicking me out. Just kicking me all out. But no one cuts off Amelia. Those motherfuckers wild. But what up, though, Charles?
Curry is fine, but we have several recipes already. There are 50 Islamic nations in the world. Muslims don't need to be on our island. They want to conquer it. The government says it must be this way. That doesn't make it right, does it, Robin Hood? These dragons that threaten our England won't go away unless brave knights rise up to slay them. Or did all the British bloodlines with any bollocks get killed off in World Wars I and II? Englishmen, it's your country, and it's being taken from you. Chav, posh? Doesn't matter. We're already all in this together. I don't want this to be the future of the women of England, and I'm sure the women of Iran and Afghanistan didn't want it either. Your ancestors beat the Spanish Armada, Napoleon, and the Nazis. Surely you can handle welfare tourists. History will record what you do or don't do. Get cracking, lads. Love, Amelia.
Love, Amelia.
Breaking news here in batshit bonkers Britain, where the cherry blossoms are out. Who needs Japan? That's what I ask. First up, the International Olympic Committee have decided that only women can compete in women's sports. That's right. That's breaking news here in Planet Madness. Only women can now compete in women's sport. I mean, a huge kudos to the women who've really stood up. Sharon Davies has really stood up. She has lost jobs, lost income. She will have been shunned by other people who were desperate to self-preserve, but would have told her privately, oh, I so agree with you, Sharon. I'm just not as brave as you are. No, you're not as willing to risk your speaking engagements and your BBC contracts. Sharon Davies Davy should be the mascot of the 2028 Olympic Games. Our daughters stand on her shoulders. Thank you, Sharon Davies, very much indeed. In other news, over in Australia, Anthony Albanese, one of the worst leaders on the planet, is trying to go back to lockdown measures in response to the oil crisis in Iran. He's saying that people shouldn't go out, they shouldn't use their cars, they should stay home. Are you starting to join the dots up yet, good people? Train people to lockdown, get them to enjoy lockdown, then restrict energy supplies. Ed Miliband not creating energy. We haven't got enough energy, so now people have to stay home. Make driving a punitive thing. Teach people to stay at home. Human beings are much easier to control when you deprive them of the energy that they need in order to be able to function. And finally, my darlings, Keir Starmer wants to make Sadiq Khan a lord. Over in the House of Lords, fancy dress department.
What? Sadiq Khan the mayor? Now he's going to be Sadiq Khan the Lord? Bollocks. Fucking wanker.
They're concerned because they've never had to make an by my sources there, that special little furry hamster to make a little teeny tiny gown for Lord Cunt when he gets into the Lords. That's it. Batshit bonkers Britain. The statement by
that was Katie Hopkins. Sadiq Khan the mayor. It's not about to be Lord Sadiq Khan. It's about to be crazy. But yeah, we still in the UK with it. We in the UK with it. We in the UK with it. Yeah, lockdowns like a motherfucker over there.
It's on. It's not something that I will be forgetting anytime. 6 years on. It's not something that I will be forgetting anytime soon, that's for sure. But many do, and it's very much how the system is designed, isn't it? News today is tomorrow's chip paper, isn't it? Yeah, things move on very, very quickly, unless, of course, you've been affected personally or someone close to you has been affected. Like this, for example, and that's why I'm actually surprised to see this particular thing in the news yesterday, I believe it was. This is a lady whose organs shut down, and now she's been left in a wheelchair because of the Rona jab. And I'm sure this is just one of many examples of the aftermath and the effects of the Rona jabs. And in this particular article, they tried to make out as though the side effects and the effects of the Rona jabs are just coming out. Oh, we're just experiencing it now. But no, of course that isn't the case. That isn't reality. People have been affected by this, particularly personally, and their loved ones. That really isn't the case, is it? This is something that has been ongoing for a while now. But as I mentioned, I'm even surprised to see things like this in the media because, let's face it, it hasn't been prominent compared to other things. So much so, later down the line, they've still been pushing these things. And of course, we've got recent examples of other medical procedures being pushed too, right? For me, I think it's important to remember a couple of things. Even though we're talking years later, it's important to remember at the time just how significant the coercion was, the social engineering, the pressure to do this. Otherwise you lose your job, you lose this, you lose that. You're not protecting. Never forget.
Never forget.
And I'll also never forget something else, which I think is significant.
We're in the phone agrees. Never forget.
You acted in that period sums up who you are as a person.
Ta-ta. Yup, because it showed people's true colors. Real shit. During that scamdemic, a lot of people show their true colors. Like, I'm talking about, like, real shit. Like, I was happy to be indoors. Like, shit, like, I'm motherfucking meditating any goddamn way. I'm out the way any goddamn way. But seeing people run around like chickens with their head cut off, lose friends, lose family members, motherfuckers tripping like, I need to be around people. Like, no, they can stay in the crib. It's a time to reflect on yourself. Like, no, I don't want to look in the mirror. I don't want to see myself. I want to go out there in the world and be dumb. And everybody was acting stupid. Man, you know, like I was clutching my motherfucking dollars like how Dave Chappelle was when he had Oprah and shit. He was clutching that money like I was like, shit, man. I gotta survive, man. I gotta survive, man. You know, and Australia took it the worst. Like they really bent over during that incident. I'm gonna never forget that shit. I'm gonna never forget that shit. That shit was wild. You know, I'm talking about complete lockdown. Motherfuckers was getting arrested. People was losing. I'm talking about like, god damn, though. They just like straight bent over. Canada, they took it. China was the whole ass motherfuckers that came out with the videos of everybody passing out like the movie Surrogates and shit. I'm like, y'all gonna put these actors out there and have them all pass out at the same fucking time, right? Oh, y'all some hoes for that one. And motherfuckers believe that shit. Motherfuckers believe, man, bro, they killed millions of people, bro. And no one is going to motherfucking prison for this shit. No one is motherfucking being motherfucking tried for fucking complete genocide. It's like, what the fuck? They blew up the Georgia Guidestones and shit to motherfucker hide the evidence of what motherfuckers was really trying to do. But as long as we got the Wayback Machine and the pictures of what was on those Georgia Guidestones, the Georgia Guidestones said, like, we need to depopulate this bitch to this amount number of people. And everybody keep on talking about, not everybody, but Bill Gates. I'm not gonna motherfucking put a motherfucking code on his name. No, Bill Gates, Dr. Fauci, even Joe Biden said there's gonna be another one. And they're working on it. Look up the Nipah virus. They studying that shit over there in the UK. And they trying to make the same shit. It came from a bat. No, bitch, shit came from a fucking lab. The goal is the population. But we went through this shit and to the point where the news had to say this.
Is what it's called. If COVID was a battlefield, it would still be worn with the bodies of the unvaccinated. Thankfully, the mandates are letting up and both sides of the war stumble back to the new normal. The unvaccinated are the heroes of the last 2 years, as they allowed us all to have a control group in the great experiment and highlight the shortcomings of COVID vaccines. The unvaccinated carry many battle scars and injuries, as they are the people we tried to mentally break. Yet no one wants to talk about what we did to them and what they forced the science to unveil. We knew that the waning immunity of the fully vaccinated had the same risk profile as others within society as the minority of the unvaccinated, yet we marked them for special persecution. You see, we said that they had not done the right thing for the greater good by handing their bodies and medical autonomy over to the state. Many of the so-called health experts and political leaders in Australia admitted the goal was to make life almost unlivable for the unvaccinated, which was multiplied many times by the collective mob, with the fight taken into workplaces, friendships, and family gatherings. Today, the hard truth is none of it was justified as we took a quick slide from righteousness to absolute cruelty.
Yep. Never forget what we've been through. Never forget what we've been through. So now they try it again. For those that was unvaccinated, like that remember the people that had the mask on, that was talking shit to them or attacked them violently or verbally, you have every right to knock their motherfucking head off. That is an order. Everyone fights, no one quits. Because after what they put us through, they threatened our jobs. They had people out there say, put on a mask. And they had us being attacked by these motherfuckers that believed in a whole ass government that lied to them. Because Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, and Johnson & Johnson, pause, It was all bullshit, and it was killing people. But yeah, we don't get no apology. So we got everybody to whoop they motherfucking ass. For real, for real. For real, for real. There is people that have died taking the vaccine. People have came to this channel, said what happened to their family members after they took that shit. And then they gaslight us and say, oh, we ain't threatening your job. We ain't do all this and do all that to you, to the unvaccinated. We ain't have newscasters blast you and TV show hosts blast you and other doctors blast you. We ain't do all that. We ain't had a president come back. Y'all had a choice. No, y'all threatened our jobs and our whole fucking livelihood and attacked us physically and verbally. We will never forget that. Go to my community post and look at that unvaccinated award. That certificate, I mean. Go that and take that copy and put on your page and let y'all know that y'all have not been vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? But if you have, there's probably a way to detox. Find out what way to detox. Because I heard a couple people said they took the shit in detox, man. But like, nah, you don't understand. You can detox whatever you think is in your body, but at the same time, they threw nanos in your shit, AIDS in your shit. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? I'm not laughing at the fact a person died. I'm laughing at the fact that a motherfucker cannot fully think. Like, do you understand what the fuck they put in that bitch? No. You find that shit out later on. They gotta put the truth out there eventually. But a motherfucker should already knew. Don't take no experimental drug that haven't really been fully tested. A vaccine take what? 10 to 15 years. Thanks to Donald Trump, Operation Warp Speed, that shit got out fast. Shouts out to Jordan. What up, though? I'm holding on to the phone. My hand hurt. You know, because I don't know why this shit is motherfucking fucking up. So I'm like, I feel if I keep it like this, with this posture, I can be good. But I'm good. I hate fucking YouTube, man. Shout out to Jordan. But yeah. I just got done playing the apology that the newscaster gave out. But like, we still in the UK with it. Larry Fink from BlackRock talking that shit.
He who controls the money controls the world, and $14 trillion in assets will do that for you, won't it? That's why we're moving from a Rockefeller-controlled world to a Fink-controlled world. And here's the guy himself, Larry Fink, guy behind BlackRock, in charge of BlackRock and those $14 trillion. And this is his letter to investors, his statement to investors. See what you get out of this. And, well, take a watch.
I write this letter each year after hundreds of conversations with clients and leaders around the world. And lately, there's a common theme. People feel like the world is changing faster than they can process. We enter 2026 with strong momentum, delivering record net inflows and reaching a new high of $14 trillion in assets under management in 2025. As clients entrusted us with nearly $700 billion of new assets. Those results reflect on the role we aim to play, helping clients navigate change and investing for the long term. And we believe BlackRock is well positioned for what comes next, at the intersection of the forces reshaping global finance. From the expansion of the capital markets to the evolution of AI and the digital transformation of investing, I remain a long-term optimist. Markets have always moved through periods of uncertainty. The question isn't whether change is coming, because it is. The question is whether more people will have a stake in what comes next. I hope you'll take a few minutes to read the letter, and I hope it sparks a conversation.
The world is a-changing, as Unky Klaus will tell us. It's a great reset. It's a certain reset of some sort. I don't think it's great by any stretch of the imagination, certainly for the everyday person. But what I got from that statement, I don't know about you, is that things are changing whether you like it or not. And if you keep your mouth shut and you get on board with what those changes are, the significant ones like the AI takeover of everything and all the data centers taking up all your water and energy for it. If you get on board with that and shut your trap, then you can potentially make some money out of it. Yeah. If you shut up and just put your money in certain places and invest and just keep the likes of BlackRock pushing forward with their $14 trillion plus assets, then you too can financially benefit from that. Whilst the world goes to Shiza, well, that's something different, isn't it? That's something else. And well, as long as you can get your penthouse in Dubai, then I'm sure everything will be A-okay. Ta-ta.
Yo, shit is fucking wild. Now it's time to go. We're doing news all over the world. From the UK, we're going to Australia. Getting physical. Fucking bitches all over the world. We're going to Australia now, Black Mike. It's time to put the Prime Minister head on the Barbie, Mike, or the premiere. It's about to be a world premiere. What? That's not a knife. Now this is a knife. Now that's a knife. Mandela effect. But we're going to Australia. It's a lot of fucking corrupt shit going on. And I was just talking about Australia a minute ago. But we got to go back. We got some criminals selling drugs as a stripper hoes. Really? I'm not fucking playing. You're about to hear some shit. We're going to Australia now, Black Mike. Called Crocodile Dundee. Not Steve Irwin, the downfall of the Aussies. Man, that's not right. Come on, man. I ain't gonna do Steve Irwin like that, man. Steve Irwin, he was the reason that I liked it, the creatures of the sea and shit. You know, it's fucked up though. Hey, who remember that South Park episode? Who remember the South Park episode when the devil threw a motherfucking party in hell and shit? And everybody had to dress up in the costume and shit, right? Steve Irwin was in hell though with the motherfucking stingray still. And the motherfucker thought it was a costume. It was like, no, dog, it's really me. He was like, oh, nigga, you got to get the fuck up out the party, nigga. You don't even got a costume on. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I think it was called Hell on Earth 2006 or something. And it was, oh my God, nigga, the Biggie Smalls skit, dog, they were, you know, they treated Biggie Smalls like he was motherfucking Bloody Mary in the mirror and shit. They was like, you say Biggie Smalls 3 times, he pop out the mirror and pop your ass. And everybody was scared to do it. Nigga, Stan's daddy went to the bathroom. That nigga Randy went to the fucking bathroom. It was like, Biggie Smalls. The nigga popped him out the mirror like, pop. Because I think he was just on the motherfucking plane on his way to the party with Butters and shit. I was like, get the fuck out of here. And they had Ted Bundy. John Wayne Gacy, and Jeffrey Dahmer as the 3 Stooges trying to get the fucking birthday cake for the devil. I was like, get the fuck out of here. This episode is too fucking funny. Check that episode out, bro. I was fucking dying, bro. I was dying. So, like, you know, if the motherfucking 3 top-rated motherfucking murderers is getting together like the 3 Stooges, you already know what's about to happen because you already know they beat each other ass in the show. So they about to these niggas, bro. South Park should have been canceled 1,000 years ago. 1,000 years ago, bro. But anyway, we going to Australia, though. We got a lot of crazy corrupt activity going on with the government. Damn, dog.
On the Allen government's union corruption on the Allen government's signature big build projects has cost Victorian taxpayers billions of dollars, with accusations sites were hotbeds for drug trafficking and even strippers.
State political reporter Heidi Murphy tells us the Explosive allegations were made by an anti-corruption investigator, claims the Premier is yet to address. The Premier's precious big build revealed to be a crime syndicate's playground.
The CFMEU had built up such a momentum of authority and power that everybody was scared of them.
An explosive report by prominent anti-corruption investigator Geoffrey Watson tabled at a Queensland inquiry, laying bare the scale of corruption and organised crime on government work sites.
How bad did things get in Victoria?
Hold on.
Oh my God, it's out of control.
Organized crime on government work sites. God damn. Long way from Olivia Newton-John. Israel Bill got lots of stuff. That's lit. Oh yeah. I used to watch Industry Hoax. Man, dog, the fucking Tupac documentaries is fucking unlimited. That motherfucker. Someone give that nigga a Grammy. Like this motherfucker. Like, damn. It was like, like, damn, bro. And shout out to my homeboy Low Key. Shout out to Low Key. He could have dog ass documentary on Pac. I think he did a couple of them. Cut Pac up. And real shit. And I'm glad you brought up the Industry Hoax because I want to say it was because of Tupac was the first time I started to learn how to be objective. It's like, because if he wasn't a fan of Biggie, he was a fan of Pac, or fan of both. I was, but I was just a fan of Tupac's delivery. But it showed me the objective side because I never really heard nothing truly negative about Pac with facts backing it up. So it was like, holy shit, I need to learn how to be more objective. So like I think it was because of that. And then I was like, damn, if this is like this, no telling how many motherfucking entertainers I motherfucking grab inspiration from or motherfucking love listening to. No telling how many people fucked up. Yo, people are waking up. And plus, what makes the Industry Hoax so cold? Like, it's like the way he edited his videos. Like, he had the motherfucking slow shit in the background, and it's all chopped and screwed and shit. Like, bitch, get the Patreon if you want to hear what I just said, motherfucker. I'm like, you motherfucker, I want to hear the real shit. I gotta get no, I can't do it. Fuck it, I'll just put the pieces together, listen to this. Fuck it. Oh man. I want to roll this blood up, but if I'm afraid if I put this phone down, the shit gonna be on that, it's gonna fuck up my YouTube. So like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just risk it, put my phone down, roll this blood up, and y'all listen to the Australian shit. But this ain't a long video. I can hold my motherfucking phone for 3 minutes. It ain't shit. I've been holding this shit for 37 minutes. So I'm good. Let's go.
Among the wilder things revealed, strippers.
Power that everybody was scared of them.
An explosive report by prominent anti-corruption investigator Geoffrey Watson tabled at a Queensland inquiry, laying bare the scale of corruption and organised crime on government work sites.
How bad did things get in Victoria? Oh my God, it's out of control.
Among the wilder things revealed, strippers hired as cleaners on $100,000, then paid cash to perform on-site at night. Work sites being used for drug distribution and Setca's secret property portfolio. The estimated cost to taxpayers, conservatively $15 billion.
Cost to taxpayers $15 billion. Billion. What? 15 billion, y'all doing this corrupt shit? Drugs, strippers, what? That's what throwing offers, the drugs and the strippers. On government work sites. mind you on government work sites. You sons of bitches.
Let me give you what the takeaway is. Before you do that, 30 billion.
Victorians exploited as the union.
And the investigator said he really truly think it's 30 billion. That 15 billion is just some soft shit, but like Paul, but like that motherfucker, he's like, man, dog, it could be 30 billion from the taxpayers. That's half a motherfucking man, the whole fucking Australia should rise up. One, they should still have the anger from what happened to them during the scamdemic. All that should be built up, repressed rage and shit. They should just use it. And put everybody heads on the Bobby, Mike. For real, Mike. I don't give a fuck, Mike. Put the prime minister and the premier head on the Bobby. If you don't, that's gonna be your head on the Bobby. Well, I throw that nigga in the fucking Stingray pit. Give him the Steve Irwin treatment. What?
Power grew and it turned to looking after gangsters, standover men, bikies, heroin traffickers, and even killers.
The Victorian CFMEU under John.
Even killers. Mind you, even killers. And like I said, on government work sites, strippers, drugs, and killers. Like what? On a government work site. Look at that. You gotta keep putting the emphasis on government work site, okay? You got to put the emphasis on government work site. It took 15, possibly 30 billion of their fucking dollars. Y'all should go put everybody head on the Barbie in this bitch. Even the killers. It'll make the killers run. It'll make the killers run. You know, they ain't gonna be scared, but stricter numbers. They're gonna be like, shit, bitch, you can't kill everybody. Only got 15 bullets in the clip unless you got a 30 round 300 round clip, unless you got the Rambo weapon, unless you got an RPG. You ain't gonna kill us all. You know what I'm saying? So for Australia, we can make the Olympics great again. And it's gonna always stay in motherfucking Australia. I recommend it. Lions and tigers and bears on mine. Speaking of bears, I think during the scamdemic, Putin just let out like 7 lions or let them roam the streets. If they go out, they get ate up, it's on them. I think that's propaganda, but still though, just the thought of it. Like, I ain't about to lock down nobody, nigga. Just let out the lions. Like what? It sounds fucking crazy, but do it sound like something that Putin would do? Because remember, the whole world shut it down, and everybody did their own type of lockdown style. Bars. I didn't mean to fucking rhyme. God damn it. But government corruption.
Sector was a crime organisation.
The big money generated by the big build at the root of the problem, the temptation created by the money, too great, corruption unchecked by government.
The government just wanted to get the projects finished. There's only one way to get the projects finished, and that was to keep the CFMEU on side.
Whatever the cost.
If somebody had stomped on this, they could have stopped it.
You considered that the government had become cowed by the industrial might of the CFMEU?
Well, there's got to be some explanation for why they weren't doing anything.
No sign of the Premier today, leaving it to her.
It gotta be an explanation why they weren't doing anything, because they're working together. Strippers, drugs, killers on government work sites. Put 2 and 2 together. They're working together. Come together right now. Over me. Pause.
Attorney General to face questions, and
I'm not going to respond directly to that.
Avoid.
I'm not going to respond directly to that. No shit. This is embarrassing. Strippers, drugs, killers on your government work site. Possibly $15 to $30 billion. Not hundreds, not thousands, not even millions, but 15 to 30 billion dollars of the taxpayers' money. Your head should be on the barbie, mate. That's not a knife. This is a knife. And this is a gun.
I cannot possibly comment on these allegations. I cannot possibly.
The opposition has no such qualms.
We're hearing evidence right now of open drug dealing. No wonder they're silent.
Where is the
I'll say this again. Strippers, drug dealers, killers on government work sites. You can't make this shit up. I love traveling all over the world. Telling the news. I got an HHN report. They getting physical. Bringing strippers all over the world. Shout out to Ludacris, man. That's the only reason why I thought of that song. And plus, I'm going all over the world with it today. Oh my God, this is wild.
Yeah, this is a failure of leadership. Demanding Jacinta Allen front up to explain herself.
She was the minister responsible for the corruption on these big build sites.
The union's administrator says the allegations have been sent to police. As for the government, are you prepared to concede you haven't at any level, any taxpayer dollars?
Heidi, I've already answered and I've said it is irresponsible and impossible for me to comment on allegations.
Heidi, joined us at the desk now. Update us. Anything yet from the Premier?
Not a single word. No, not even a statement expressing concern about these
You know
allegations.
where the
What I
party is at
understand
now.
is that the Premier and her team want to take the time to read this report properly and consider
Sound like
what, if
Dracula's
any,
Castle.
next steps are to be taken.
Right.
They would probably be hoping the fuss will die down quickly, given it's in the past, but I can guarantee you the opposition will not be letting this go. Yes, exactly. All right,
Right, they
Heidi,
would
thank
not
you.
let it go. Because that shit should get you fired, banned, and probably chased off the goddamn country doing some shit. You might have to move to London, bitch. She might have to move to London, and then they probably get a job for Starmer. It was like, you fucked up that country well. Thanks for the drug money. You work for me now. or just stay in hiding. But what can she say on some real shit? She's like, I refuse to respond. I cannot respond to that. Like her even saying that is enough. It's like, hold on, wait a minute, one more time, y'all, before we go to another country. Strippers, drug dealers, and killers on a government work site. 15, possibly to $30 billion of the taxpayers' money gone. And they talk about maybe the shit would die down because it was in the past. Man, 13 billion. You know how long y'all was probably doing that shit? Talk about the past, man. Oh my God, man. Everybody should riot. Let's start a motherfucking ride in this bitch. Let's start a motherfucking ride in this hoe. 3-6 Mafia. They were like, where that is coming from? That's from America, sir. It's from a group named 3-6 Mafia. I find that group shallow and pedantic. Why would that be 3-6, sir? You know that's the mark of the beast. No, sir. It's 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neutrons. I watch Doctor Who, sir. Get this motherfucker out of here. All right, it's time to go. We're about to travel all over the world. We're going to the United States. Over there fucking with Niger and Nigeria. But I gotta put this fucking phone down. So I can roll the blood. Cause we traveling all over the world. Was Hunter Biden there? He probably was. I need to look it up. I wonder where Hunter get his cocaine from. Probably from the place we about to go to war to next. Colombia. Cuba and Colombia. Get ready. Get ready. There ain't a prediction. I'm just following patterns. I'm just following patterns and paying attention to what people say. I think Colombia's next on the list. Cuba's on the list. JFK would be so disappointed. He would have been like, I would have stopped this motherfucking crisis, you son of a bitch. But I gotta fuck Marilyn Monroe. And I gotta fuck that other chick. What's that 19-year-old intern's name? Her name is Mimi Beardsley. Yeah, Mimi Beardsley. She does a great blowjob. It makes me think Jackie Kennedy had JFK killed. You cheating motherfucker. I was like, what? Even the phone agrees, Jesus. But either way, there's multiple reasons why JFK could have got popped by our own CIA. One, you didn't want to go to war with Cuba. Two, you was hanging with the niggers like MLK. That was a big no-no that motherfucking J. Edgar Hoover. You're like, this son of a bitch. I'm like, well, bitch, you a cross-dresser though. But anyway, also, you snuck Marilyn Monroe through the goddamn White House tunnels. You weren't supposed to do that shit, and like that's still alleged. And you fucked with Mimi Beardsley. She came out on a motherfucking Inside Edition. I covered that shit. You know, like this was the scandal before Clinton. I covered it. Just type in Hurricane JW Mimi Beardsley and shit. You know, you'll catch it. It was fucking crazy. But I think Jackie killed that motherfucker because he was a fucking cheater. And the last thing is that motherfucking speech he gave when he called out the elites. JFK in the pool, Trump putting the ballroom over the pool. That nigga still in gold. I think that'll be another one. Wait. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be that one. That nigga still in gold. But anyway, we're going to Africa real quick. I think we're going to Niger. I think it's Niger and Nigeria. Like the United States on that bullshit. All right. Everybody cross y'all fingers and hope this shit don't fuck up on me while I got to roll this motherfucking L up. All right. I'm putting the phone down slowly. Okay, easy. I feel like Indiana Jones from motherfucking like Temple of Doom when I'm trying to grab the motherfucking shit and run from the boulder and shit. All right. The phone is placed down. The phone is fucking placed down. Okay, cool. Now all I gotta do is press the button for the news so I can roll up. Here we go. Okay. Step away slowly and shit. God damn, I've been holding that phone for 51 minutes. My arm is fucking crazy right now. Oh man, I can finally stretch this bitch. Okay, here we go. Let's go.
February 3rd, 2026. AFRICOM. Commander General Dagvin Anderson told reporters the United States was conducting intelligence operations in Nigeria and establishing presence. But Nigerians were not told the full picture. When exactly did these forces arrive? How many troops are on the ground? Where are they operating from? And most importantly, how long are they staying?
Step away slowly.
Are vague. And President Bola Tinubu's government wants Nigerians to believe this is about security, that it somehow protects Nigeria's sovereignty. But look at the timing. In July 2023, Niger's military overthrew the government. Then in March 2024, Niger's
military overthrew the government. Now, man, you know, like what most people don't understand is that shit can happen here. It's like y'all a whole bunch of old motherfuckers. We got the guns. If America's a corporation, we consider this a hostile takeover. But most of us already know that this shit is ran by the military industrial complex any fucking way. So they don't have to. They're already in the power. They already got it. And if they'll blow up kids anywhere else, and if they fuck up the Black Wall Street like they did back in the day, they'll bomb this bitch again. They killed their own fucking people in the motherfucking 9/11. And you know, like what really, really, truly upsetted me, you know, like there's this moment during that 9/11 shit when I saw the couple holding hands and they jumped off. That was the moment I was like, fuck this government. Like real shit. I was like, fuck this government. Fuck this fucking government. Like Romeo and Juliet, like, man, we ain't gonna make it. We go out together. Fuck this government. And then seeing what George Bush did after that. Shouts out to the JVJ Network. I'll be over there Thursdays, Fridays, sometimes Saturdays when I can. He fought in that war. Supposed to be weapons of mass destruction. Weapons of mass destruction. They ain't find shit. Put us in a forever fucking war. And then when the pictures would come out of what this what some of the soldiers was doing to the motherfucking people over there and taking pictures and shit, man, that shit fucked me up. I was like, fuck this government. But yeah. Yep. Rescued Nigerian princess whose funds I see is online. Whoa. Where the fuck my glasses at? Let me grab my $100 Chamberlain frames from Warby Parker. Huh, much better. I can't see without my glasses. Abu Great Picks. Yo, G's at the yard sale, no taxes, nothing recorded. Yep. Yep. At the estate sale. Yep. The Abu Great Picks, man. Man. Dog. I saw those pics. I was like, what the fuck? The fucking smiles on their faces. Like, look what I did to this motherfucker here. Like, my fucking heart dropped. I was like, I'm like, this can't be real. Mind you, this is before AI, Photoshop, all this shit. I'm like, oh. Way before the AI and Photoshop took over and you got to question everything. No, this is from a Polaroid fucking camera. I'm like, this is from a Polaroid camera. But shouts out to the soldiers that made it back home on some real shit. For real. Because like some of y'all help me out. For real. I had a couple friends that came back, went straight to college. Like, shouts out. Had some friends come back. And motherfucking chilling through parties and shit. Had a friend come back. This motherfucking kept barbecuing, giving back to the hood, you know. But it's fucked up how the government treat the veterans. It's like, man, these motherfuckers fought for this country and they on the street and they need help. And the veteran hospitals is, man, I'm like, come on, man, help these people. They fought for this fucking country. Like, damn. You know, like if anything, like they should come back to automatic housing and not pay any fucking bill. Like, nigga, I fought for this fucking country. I shouldn't pay shit. I should walk in every place and get something for free. I'm a fucking hero. But you know, like watching old Vietnam stories and like watching Forrest Gump again and shit, that make you think. It's something happening here, but it ain't exactly clear. Shout out to GBA Radio. There's a man with a gun over there telling me he got to be where. I don't know why I love that fucking song. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. That's my shit. But yeah, we over here in Africa. The U.S. is setting up shop in Nigeria.
U.S. forces out. By August 2024, Washington had completed its withdrawal from the $100 million plus drone base at Agadez. 19 months later, American forces are now on Nigerian soil. And what is happening in Nigeria right now is not just counterterrorism cooperation. It is Washington rebuilding its Sahel footprint after Niger slammed the door shut. Because when Niger said no, America went looking for a new strategic foothold, and Nigeria's government said yes. In today's video, we break down exactly what this deployment means, why it happened now, and what it could mean for Nigeria's sovereignty, its military, and the future of U.S. power in West Africa. Then, February 13th, 2026, Military Times revealed what officials had avoided saying, the number. Roughly 200 U.S. troops deploying to Nigeria in the coming weeks. And that's just the number they're willing to admit publicly, because deployments like this rarely start overnight. According to AFRICOM Commander General Dagvin Anderson, this didn't begin in 2026.
Facts, GBA, yup.
October 2025, Rome, at the Aqaba Process Summit.
Wow,
That's where Anderson met President Bola Tinubu. And according to him, they shared thoughts and agreed on a way forward in the region. Diplomatic language, for something much more direct. Because in plain terms, that means one thing. Nigeria agreed to host American troops. But the real question is not what happened. It's why. What did Nigeria get in return? According to officials, military support against Boko Haram and ISWAP, advanced intelligence capabilities. Nigeria currently lacks surveillance systems and operational planning support. On paper, it sounds like cooperation, but in reality, it raises a much bigger question. At what cost? But most critically, political cover. Because recall that Trump threatened Nigeria explicitly. Trump called violence against Christians genocide and said America would go into Nigeria guns a-blazing if Tinubu didn't protect Christians better. That threat...
And that shit is fucking wild. You threatened the motherfucker, they threatened Christians, man, nigga. Trump, you just bombed a fucking school full of girls. A school full of girls. And then blamed it on Iran, knowing darn well they don't have a fucking tomahawk. And then, shouts out to Low Key, coming to find out the girls that was at that school was the daughters of the military. You son of a bitch. This war ain't gonna fucking stop. It's on. It's on like Don Coleon while we sipping Don Perignon. Nigga, shoot the TV if Wayne Brady on. It's like, yo, the big dog. And then, in the midst of all that, there is Christian leaders praying over this man, saying he's about to bring in the coming of Christ. Just, you can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. But let's get back to Africa. Because we doing news all over the world. We just left the UK and Australia. Now it's time to go. Giving news all over the world. Shout out to Ludacris. Luda. The incredible one, touchable nigga spit the video about the body with the dopest flows. Wonder why the lines around the corner, cause a little motherfucker got the dopest shows. One time for my independent women and all the single mothers that be getting that cake. 2 times for my dogs pulling triggers and my niggas in the kitchen that be flipping that weight. East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, 30 South, they be taking all around the world. Got fans in retirement homes, teenagers and the little bitty boys and girls. Drop a lyrical bounce up in the hood, non-stop and I'ma hit it till your block explode. Hip hop, R&B, pop chart, which one to leave it got a little rock and roll. The most creative, original, gotta take it subliminal, bow, bow. They can't get what I got. They want it so bad, $4 million pad and enough to retire from 2 albums. Go wave your white flags, I'm hot.
Came in October 2025, and by November 2025, Tinubu was in Rome agreeing to host American forces. That's not a partnership. That's coercion, followed by compliance. Then came December 25th, 2025, Christmas Day. While most Nigerians were celebrating, something else was happening off the coast. According to reports, U.S. warships in the Gulf of Guinea launched missile strikes targeting ISIS-linked militants in Sokoto state. That was the official objective. But what happened next is where the story becomes unclear, because multiple reports indicated that some of those missiles did not hit their intended targets. Instead, they landed near civilian areas. One village was damaged, injuries were reported, and even more concerning, unexploded ordnance was later discovered in parts of Kwara, Niger, and Sokoto states, scattered, unaccounted for, a lingering danger long after the strikes. AFRICOM stated that multiple militants were killed, but there was no independent verification, no confirmed casualty breakdown, no transparent assessment, just official claims and government acceptance. And that's when many Nigerians realized something far bigger. Their president had authorized foreign military action on Nigerian soil. No parliamentary debate, no public consultation, no clear transparency. Tinubu's government described it as a successful collaboration. But critics saw something else entirely, a violation of sovereignty, because this raises a fundamental question. When did Nigerians consent to foreign missiles being launched inside their own country? who approved it, and on whose authority. Because in any democracy, decisions of this magnitude are supposed to be debated, scrutinized, explained, not revealed after the fact. Interestingly, Nigerian officials insist U.S. troops are not combat forces. They say they are just advisors and training personnel. But guess what?
That's a lie.
This is the same language America used in Niger, in Afghanistan, and in Vietnam in the 1960s, until advisory presence became combat deployment once infrastructure was established. And here's what advisory actually includes, according to Anderson: intelligence gathering, surveillance, reconnaissance, intelligence fusion, and operational planning. That's not passive advice. That's active participation in military operations. U.S. personnel gathering intelligence, planning operations, coordinating strikes. The only thing they're not doing is pulling triggers themselves. But they don't need to, because once U.S. intelligence identifies targets, once U.S. operational plans get implemented, once U.S. surveillance guides Nigerian forces, American troops control operations without officially engaging in combat. Now, recall that on September 2024, America completed withdrawal from Niger. It withdrew from Air Base 201 near Agadez, worth $110 million, actually the most expensive U.S. bases in the world. Then Niger's military government, the same one Europe just condemned, ordered Americans out. They terminated security agreements and told AFRICOM to leave. And America had no choice, because without local government consent, military presence becomes an occupation. And unlike Iraq or Afghanistan, America couldn't justify occupying Niger. So they left, leaving behind a $110 million base and lost intelligence gathering capabilities across the Sahel. But 19 months later, AFRICOM established a presence in Nigeria. Different country, but objectives. Now, Nigeria is Niger's southern neighbor and shares a 1,500-kilometer border. And from Nigerian territory, AFRICOM can monitor most of the same Sahel region they surveilled from Niger. That's not a coincidence. That's strategic repositioning. When one country says no, find another country that says yes. And here's what Nigerians are not being told. Anderson mentioned the deployment provides intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance capabilities. But he didn't mention, are U.S. drones operating from Nigerian bases? Are American contractors building infrastructure? Are AFRICOM personnel embedded with Nigerian units in combat zones? He mentioned operational planning support, but he didn't specify. Are U.S. forces planning Nigerian military operations? Are American commanders directing Nigerian troop movements? Who has final authority when plans conflict? He mentioned intelligence fusion, but he didn't clarify. Is Nigerian intelligence being shared with CIA, with NSA, with Pentagon databases? Do Nigerians have access to U.S. intelligence, or is it one-way sharing? And critically, nobody explained. What happens if U.S. troops in Nigeria face attack? Does America claim self-defense and escalate presence? Does Nigeria lose control over its own security operations? Clearly, what's happening in Nigeria right now is AFRICOM rebuilding in Nigeria what they lost in Niger. But why did Nigeria say yes at a time when neighboring countries are saying no? Well, first, Nigeria ranks 4th globally on the 2026 Global Terrorism Index. 750 Nigerians were killed by terrorism in 2025. That's a 46% increase from 2024. Borno State alone suffered 67% of all attacks and 72% of fatalities. That's not terrorism spread across a country. That's concentrated warfare in one region. And Nigeria's military, despite its fearsome reputation, has repeatedly failed to protect civilians. Nigeria's counterterrorism strategy isn't failing. It collapsed. Since 2019, Nigeria implemented the Super Camp strategy. It consolidated personnel and equipment into secure hubs in population centers. The idea, create fortified positions that insurgents can't overrun. The result, rural areas abandoned, territories left ungoverned, and ISWAP moved in. And now those super camps, instead of being secure strongholds, are strategic liabilities. Underfunded, poorly fortified, corruption and mismanagement left them exposed. And such ISWAP attacked them repeatedly through nighttime raids, targeted isolation by detonating surrounding roads and bridges, and using looted weapons for future assaults. However, America came up with an offer: intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance capabilities. That's what AFRICOM provides, and it's having impact. Nigerian military intensified aerial bombardment of ISWAP and Boko Haram hideouts after U.S. deployment. But the March 2026 attacks exposed something critical: the limits of ISR-supported air power. Because ISWAP adapted, they learned how to disappear, moving under dense forest canopies, dispersing within minutes after an attack, exploiting the gaps between surveillance passes, always one step ahead of the drones. And then, they crossed borders, into Cameroon, into Chad, into Niger, across the Lake Chad Basin, a region where sovereignty overlaps, coordination is weak, and surveillance coverage is inconsistent. A perfect environment for a mobile insurgency. So yes, American intelligence helps. It improves targeting. It increases strike efficiency. But it does not solve the core problem, because air power can hit targets. But it cannot hold territory. It cannot protect civilians. And it cannot stop coordinated attacks from regrouping forces. And that is Nigeria's reality. And guess what Nigeria had to give up? First, sovereignty. The right to conduct security operations independently, make decisions without American oversight, and control over who operates military equipment on Nigerian soil. Secondly,
Yep. You just lost all your power for letting the U.S. military pop up and set up shop. It's a wrap.
Resources leverage. Nigeria has oil, gas, and critical minerals. But Nigeria hosting American troops means Nigeria can't leverage resources against American interests. You don't demand fair mineral prices from a country whose soldiers operate on your territory with your permission. But the worst part is that it locks Nigeria into dependence, because once American troops deploy, once AFRICOM establishes presence, once intelligence infrastructure integrates, you can't easily ask them to leave. Niger tried. They expelled Americans but faced isolation, sanctions, and condemnation. Nigeria, watching that, knows. Accepting American troops is easy, but removing them later is nearly impossible.
Yep.
And here's the part that changes everything. November 2007. Nigeria rejected a formal request to host AFRICOM's regional headquarters. Not quietly, publicly, firmly. In fact, Nigeria went even further, encouraging other African countries to reject it as well. And they did. Even Ghana, one of the most pro-American countries in Africa, said no. At the time, the message was clear. No foreign military presence on African soil. But fast forward to today, February 2026. Nigeria is now hosting American troops. Roughly 200 soldiers already deployed. Same country, same institution, but a completely different answer. So what changed? Why does Nigeria say no in 2007? And yes, in 2026? The answer is uncomfortable, desperation, because history shows a pattern. When states are strong, they resist external military presence. But when security begins to collapse, when insurgencies expand, when governments start losing control, that's when outside powers are invited in. Not from a position of strength, but from a position of necessity. And that's exactly where Nigeria is now. To understand where this could lead, look at Djibouti. December 2001. The United States negotiated access to French military facilities and established Camp Lemonnier. At the time, it was described as temporary, a short-term base for counterterrorism operations after 9/11. But that was 25 years ago. Today, Camp Lemonnier is the largest U.S. military base in Africa. Over 5,000 personnel, more than $1.4 billion invested in expansion, and a 20-year lease signed in 2014 worth $63 million per year. Temporary became permanent. But here's the part most people don't see. Djibouti now earns roughly $300 million annually from hosting foreign military bases. That's about 10% of its entire GDP, which means the base is no longer just military, it's economic, structural, essential. Because once a country's economy depends on foreign military presence, removing that presence becomes almost impossible. Not without economic shock, not without instability. That's how temporary deployment turns into long-term dependence. And now, Nigeria has taken its first step down a very similar path. Now, AFRICOM operates at least 20 military installations across Africa, and most are what the Pentagon calls lily pads, or temporary facilities, except they're not temporary. Wallam in Niger operated for years as a contingency location. Then 4 U.S. soldiers died there in 2017, and it was exposed for what it really was. Tunisia hosts a drone base at Sidi Ahmed Air Base with 70 Air Force personnel and 20 civilian contractors. It has been operating since at least 2016, but still called temporary. Botswana, Somalia, Libya, all host facilities officially classified as non-enduring. But they've endured for years, some over a decade. So, here's what history teaches. Once American troops deploy, host countries lose agency. They can't negotiate with rivals.
Shouts out to what's his name? He come by the channel. I think his name is Paul. He from Botswana. And I looked up the revolutions over there and shit. I'm like, they did a successful peaceful revolution. I gotta give them their props on how they handled their government. You know what I'm saying? I gotta give Botswana their props. Like look up, like the Botswana like revolution and like what they did to become the people that they are. I found that very, very intriguing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, shouts out. right? That the truth is worse.
Without American permission, they can't make independent foreign policy decisions. They can't leverage resources against American interests. And they can't ask troops to leave without facing isolation, sanctions, or worse.
But there is a solution to get the motherfuckers off your land. You have to, let's just say, mix John Wick with Sam Fisher Splinter Cell mixed with Snake from Metal Gear. And you're gonna have to go in there and blow it the fuck up. Like real shit. That's the only solution I got. You infiltrate that bitch. Oh yeah, you gotta mix James Bond with it too. You gotta infiltrate that bitch, get a job, get a high position, get the key card access, and shut that bitch the fuck down. You don't gotta blow it up. Just shut it down. But you is gonna have to pull that trigger on key figures, bars. But you gotta be James Bond mixed with John Wick, mixed with Sam Fisher Splinter Cell, mixed with Metal Gear. Snake! Dun 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 dun. And blow it the fuck up. Ain't that what the government do when they want to get rid of the evidence of they motherfucking bio labs and shit? They motherfucker send a drone strike on that motherfucker. Destroy the evidence. Destroy the evidence. Top the loose ends. Top the loose ends. You meet again, Mr. Bond. What do you want? No, Bond, I want you to die. Dr. Noah, motherfucker, with the monocle and shit. The name's Bond. James Bond. You gotta infiltrate that bitch. You know, like put a bomb here, bomb there, and you can't leave without fucking one of the bad bitches. You know what I'm saying? You ain't James Bond if you ain't fuck the bad bitch and the good bitch. You gotta motherfucker at least get 2 in that day. You gotta get 2 in that day. Or you can separate the days, but you gotta smash a bitch within 3. You gotta get the mission done within 7 days. You smashing hoes for the first 3 days. And then on the 4th day, you get to the mission, and you know. I'm stupid. Don't pay me no mind when it comes to that. But still, though, you want to get those motherfuckers out there, bitch, and you don't want to get sanctioned or you don't want to get ridiculed as a fucking country. Then just go in there and blow it the fuck up. Sorry. Viva la revolution. Nigeria is free again.
Once American personnel face attack, U.S. claims self-defense and escalates presence with more troops, more equipment, and more infrastructure.
All right. If y'all keep on talking, we're going to bring some more troops in and we're going to shoot y'all ass. See? And you wonder why I say infiltrate that bitch and just blow that bitch the fuck up. Metal Gear Solid. Snake! Or, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Or like be a nigga that work in catering and just poison everybody. You got to get those motherfuckers out some kind of way. And if they threaten physical force, come on now. But we don't have the weapons. Well, you got to become the weapon. Be the change you want to see. You know what you're right there, Nicky. I'm going to go in there. Viva Nigeria! You know, go in that bitch and go out like a blaze of glory. You know what I'm saying? Take back your fucking land, man. Shit. Viva la revolution. The only solution is revolution. There is no political solution to tyranny. Like real shit. This is a revolutionary channel. Make sure y'all pay attention to my bio.
Advisory presence becomes an occupation without formal declaration. But that's why Niger's expulsion of U.S. troops
That's a bar.
You see, when Niger's military
That nigga don't even understand that was a bar. It's an occupation without motherfucking declaration. That was a bar. That's a fucking bar on some real shit.
government expelled U.S. forces. America had no choice but to comply because, unlike Iraq or Afghanistan, America couldn't justify occupation. Niger's government ordered them out and they left. Now, that precedent terrifies AFRICOM because it proved African countries can remove American troops if they're willing to face consequences. Mali did it with France, Burkina Faso followed, and Niger expelled Americans. Yes, specifically to resist foreign military presence. And they survived, built alternatives. They didn't collapse without American support.
Right.
Now step back, because this isn't just about security, it's about energy. Nigeria holds roughly 36 billion barrels of proven oil reserves and has historically been Africa's largest oil.
Oh, well, what's going on is like the United States has deployed in Nigeria, and they want them to go, but they can't get rid of them. So it's occupation without declaration, or the declaration for the occupation, or it's a fucked up situation, bars. But like they don't want to get sanctioned. Damn, I ain't trying to keep on rhyming. You know, they're afraid of sanctions and extra military popping up. Be like, stop telling us to leave. But like we're at the end of it, and they mentioned Burkina Faso.
Producer. Its crude is high quality, low in sulfur, exactly the kind refiners prefer. And geographically, Nigeria sits right on the Gulf of Guinea, one of the most.
All right. Now the first part of me was like, right, you're right. You know, like they don't even have motherfucking weapons. You know, like even their arms are chopped off. You know what I'm saying? The first part of me saying right, but the second part of me want to laugh. Like that shit sound like a fucking joke. And I need to get that laugh out. That's fucked up. That's fucked up, bro. But I gotta laugh though, because that shit fucking funny. But the first side was like, yup. Mm-hmm. From your own groups, don't run to the government for every little thing. Exactly. Because like Burkina Faso and a whole bunch of other countries came together, was like, yo, man, we ain't gonna have no foreign motherfuckers on our shit. Why the fuck Nigeria just do that shit when back in 2007 we all agreed on not having that shit? Why the fuck they doing that shit now? What did our government offer them? Oh, the same shit they try to offer Burkina Faso's leader, Ibrahim's cousin, money, power, and a whole bunch of shit. But the motherfucker didn't use his common sense. I'm like, nigga, I am Ibrahim Traore, the president. Because you already have the money and the power. You hanging with people that is trying to have me killed. I've survived 20 attempts on my life, and you are part of it, my cousin. Lock him up. Me, like I would have had him executed. But that shows mercy. You know what I'm saying? And it's, you know all that family shit, man. But like, motherfucker, you hang with the people that want me dead. And they offer you money and power. Bitch, I'm the president. You're my cousin. You are in a position of power on your own shit, but you want more money and power? What? It's like, dog, you got money, power. First comes the money, then comes the power, then come the women, whatever the fuck. You know how Scarface shit is. It's like, what? Nigga, like, it's like, you know, like is I'm not paying you enough? Is I'm not feeding you niggas? Like, you know, like Ibrahim should just slap the shit out of him. Like real shit. For real, like, bro, I'm the president of the country. You my cousin. You in a position of power. You got money. What the fuck did they offer you? Like, man, he's locked up right now, but I really don't know what's going on. He probably let out. I'm not really sure. But if it was me, and I'm just saying, like, all the shit I just said, it's like, you know, like I have tears in my eyes pulling the trigger because I have to do it myself. I would have to do it myself. I would not have no one else to do it. I would have to do it myself. Like, yo, bro, like it'll be like motherfucking Nino Brown did to J Money on the rooftop. Am I my brother's keeper? Like, bitch, I gave you a position of power, bitch. when he asked what they offered him, it was like money and power. I'm like, bitch, I'm the president. You my cousin, nigga. You already lit. Nigga, you Gucci. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? But we about to go to Burkina Faso. We all are, sir. Yeah, that's funny. Money, power, greed. The trifecta. And it's like, and plus, here's another thing that'll make me mad and want me to murk him too. It's like, because you know I'm fighting for the true independence of our people. That right there, just like building our name up on that, just like we cared about our people. No foreign shit here. None of that bullshit. Don't fuck with these motherfuckers. Like, we gotta motherfucking reclaim our land and take care of our people. And we don't need foreign help. We can do this ourselves. But they offer me money and power. Lock this motherfucker up. You know, it's like, goddamn. It's like what Ice Cube song said, greed, give me everything that I need. 99 problems. Man, but we going to Burkina Faso right now. It was some shit that happened. I was always trying to keep up with what's going on. But what I think the government, you know, like before I played, I think the government is staging attacks across Burkina Faso to make it look like Ibrahim can't take care of his shit. That's what I think was going on. You know what I'm saying? Because it's happening in certain areas and certain people are being attacked, which make me look like it's an operation going on against Ibrahim. It's like, damn, we can't motherfucking kill him. He survived 20 attempts. Shit. Well, you know what? Let's go start killing his people and make it look like he ain't taking care of them. And then sooner or later, we're going to give him the Gaddafi treatment. Yeah, the Gaddafi treatment, sir. Yeah. That's what it looks like is going to happen to me. So, like Ibrahim got to motherfucking say something about all this shit. You know, it's like, it's some shit going on. And plus, I covered some shit, you know, like, you know, how the government is using its own people against them. So, you know, like, but it's in small pockets, though. It's in small pockets, but like, really, like, that's all it takes, a couple splinter sets, motherfucking disturb, you motherfucking key strategic spots and hit key strategic people. You know what I'm saying? It'll look like an operation. So, you know, just follow the patterns, follow the money, follow the people involved. But let's get to it, because we're going all over the world. Yo, nigga, we still in Africa. Oh yeah, forgot. We were just in Nigeria and Niger. Okay, we about to go up to Burkina Faso to see Ibrahim Trail. HHN all over the world. Let's go. Burkina Faso.
Shops burned and a trail of death left behind. Ibrahim Traore is now facing one of his toughest challenges.
Most people scrolling past the headlines right now think they already understand what's happening in Burkina Faso. Another attack, another village, another sign they assume that things are falling apart. But here's what almost nobody is stopping to ask. Why are these attacks suddenly becoming more coordinated?
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I love that motherfucking song. Oh, shit. Heavy is the head that wears. Oh, shit. Made me think of that motherfucking rock song. That's a jam. Back on. Oh, I don't know the words, man, but I know the melody. I know the vibe. Love about you. Turn it out. For those against the rain. Turn it out. Heavy. Hold on. Let me stop. You made me think about that old ass song. That's what's up. You go back to Burkina Faso.
More visible, and more aggressive across multiple locations at the same time. Because if this was just a collapse, it wouldn't look like this. Something deeper is unfolding, something that doesn't fit the simple narrative being repeated everywhere. And if you miss it, you'll misunderstand not just this moment, but where this entire conflict is heading next. What happened in Dortenga is not just another incident. It's a signal that the situation is shifting, and not in the way most people think. So before you decide what this means, you need to see the full picture. Let's get into it.
The Empire.
The first alerts did not come as a single clear report. They came in fragments. A village name, a number, a mention of fire, then another location, then another. Slowly, a pattern began to form, but only if you were paying close attention. In Dortenga, in Burkina Faso's central east, suspected insurgent fighters launched an attack that left at least 12 people dead, including 9 members of the Volunteers for the Defense of the Homeland, the VDP, a local auxiliary force supporting national security efforts. Shops were looted. Buildings were set on fire. The kind of damage that doesn't just disrupt a day, but reshapes how people experience safety in their own environment. That alone would have been enough to dominate the news cycle, but it didn't stop there. Reports began to connect Dortenga to a wider sequence. Over roughly 10 days, multiple locations, Titao, Mani, and Yamba, were also hit. Not randomly, but in a way that suggested coordination. Civilians targeted in one place, volunteer fighters in another, security positions in another. That's not a scattered situation, that's a pattern. And patterns force a different kind of thinking. Because when attacks stretch across several areas within a short window, they are no longer just about a single objective. They become about pressure, applied across space, across time, and across different layers of society. Now here is where most people stop thinking. They see multiple attacks and reach the fastest conclusion available. Things must be getting worse, the state must be losing control, the situation must be slipping. But that conclusion depends on something very specific. It assumes that what we are seeing is expansion without resistance. Because if a group is moving freely, it doesn't need to coordinate across multiple areas. It doesn't need to strike with intensity. It doesn't need to expose itself repeatedly. It moves quietly. So when the opposite happens, when attacks become louder, faster, and more spread out, it raises a different possibility. That something is pushing back. And that changes everything. Because now the question is no longer just about what happened in Dortenga. It becomes much sharper than that. If these attacks are appearing in waves across different locations, are we watching a system fall apart? Or are we watching a battlefield where pressure is being met with resistance, forcing the attackers to escalate? It starts to look different once you accept that escalation can be a reaction, not just an advantage. For a long time, large rural areas functioned with limited immediate protection. Security forces were present, but often far from where attacks actually happened. That created predictable conditions. Armed groups could enter, operate, and leave with relatively low friction. But over the past phase of this conflict, a different layer has been added. Local volunteer defense forces, the VDP, have become embedded in communities. These are not distant units arriving after the fact. They are already there, watching, noticing, reacting early. That changes the timing of everything. Instead of an attack happening in silence and only being reported later, there is now a chance of interruption. Even if that interruption is small, even if it's imperfect, it forces the attacker to adjust. An adjustment creates pressure. Think of it like this. If someone can walk into a place unnoticed, they take their time. But if they know someone is watching, even if that watcher is not fully equipped, they move faster, louder, and with more force to get in and out before resistance builds. That is exactly what begins to appear in situations like Dortenga. The presence of VDP fighters means the area is not empty. It is observed. And once it is observed, it becomes contested. That is why the detail about 9 volunteer fighters being killed matters so much. Because it shows who the attackers were focused on. They were not just trying to create fear. They were trying to remove the layer that makes future movement harder. And that turns the entire event into something more strategic than it first appears. Because now the attack is not just about destruction, it is about clearing resistance. Which leads to a deeper question. If these volunteer forces are becoming central enough to be targeted directly, what happens when the state begins to respond to that pressure on a larger scale? What happens next is where the story stops being about one village and starts becoming about a system reacting under pressure. Because once local resistance is hit, the burden shifts upward. The state cannot afford to stay distant. And that is exactly what begins to change. Following this wave of attacks, reports point to a combination of responses, airstrikes targeting retreating fighters, ground units moving into affected zones, and relief efforts reaching communities that had just been hit. Not as a single dramatic operation, but as a sequence. That sequence matters more than it looks, because in earlier phases of this conflict, one of the biggest weaknesses was the delay between attack and response. A village would be hit, and for a period of time, nothing visible would happen. That gap allowed attackers to disappear without pressure and left communities feeling isolated. Now, that gap is shrinking. And when the gap shrinks, two things happen at once. First, attackers have less time to operate freely after a strike. Their exit becomes riskier. Their movement becomes more exposed. They are no longer acting in a space where they can assume no immediate follow-up. Second, the signal sent to the population begins to change. Instead of silence after violence, there is activity. Instead of absence, there is presence, even if temporary, even if incomplete. That doesn't erase the damage, but it changes the meaning of what follows it. Because in conflicts like this, control is not just about preventing attacks. It is about what happens after them. Who shows up? Who stabilizes? Who stays? And yet, even with these responses, the attacks continue across multiple locations. That creates a tension that is hard to ignore. If the state is reacting faster, deploying more visibly, and engaging more directly, why does the situation still appear unstable, with repeated strikes across different areas? Let's pause for a second to say big thank you to the Black Culture Diary community, where Black voices, stories, and legacies are preserved and amplified. By becoming a member, you're not just supporting the channel. You're becoming part of a powerful cultural movement. Let's continue. Because stability in this kind of conflict is not built in a straight line. It doesn't move from chaos to control in one clean step. It moves unevenly, area by area, route by route, sometimes advancing in one place while slipping in another. Burkina Faso is not dealing with a single front where one decisive operation can settle everything. It is dealing with a network of movements, fighters who don't hold ground in the traditional sense, but move through it, test it, and exploit gaps wherever they find them. And gaps in a country with vast rural terrain are unavoidable. Even if one area is reinforced, another may still be exposed. Even if one road is secured, another path remains open. Even if one community organizes itself, the next one may not yet be ready. This is why attacks appear scattered. Not because the state is absent everywhere, but because control is incomplete everywhere. Armed groups understand this. They don't need to control everything. They only need to find where control is weakest at any given moment. That is where they strike, not to hold permanently, but to disrupt, to signal presence, and to force the system to stretch itself thinner. This creates a cycle. Pressure is applied in one place. The state responds. The pressure shifts somewhere else. The response follows again. From the outside, this can look like instability without progress. But from within the logic of the conflict, it reflects something else entirely. A continuous contest over space, where neither side has full dominance. Which leads to a more precise question. If neither side fully controls the terrain, and both are actively adapting, what does that say about the stage Burkina Faso has reached in this conflict right now? Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. It suggests that Burkina Faso has moved past the phase of quiet expansion by armed groups and entered something far more difficult, the phase of sustained contest. In earlier stages of conflicts like this, one side often moves with relative ease. There are fewer obstacles, fewer reactions, and fewer consequences after each action. Movement is steady, almost predictable, but that is not what the current pattern shows. The wave of attacks across Dortenga, Titao, Mani, and Yamba shows that armed groups still have the ability to strike across distances. They can coordinate, they can move, and they can inflict damage. That part is clear. But the equally important part is this. They are not doing it quietly. They are doing it in bursts, in waves, in operations that require speed and coordination rather than slow, silent expansion. That shift matters, because when movement becomes louder, it also becomes more exposed. The more coordinated an operation is, the more it relies on timing, planning, and risk. And risk increases when the environment is no longer passive. At the same time, the state's response, air deployments, ground movements, and local defense integration show that the system is not standing still. It is reacting, adjusting, and trying to close the gaps that are being tested. This creates a battlefield where control is not fixed. It is constantly negotiated. One side applies pressure, the other absorbs and responds. Then the pressure moves again. From the outside, this can feel like repetition, attack, response, attack, response. But underneath that repetition, something is shifting. The space is no longer uncontested. And once a space becomes contested, the conflict changes character entirely. It becomes harder, slower, and more intense. Which brings us to the final and most important question. If Burkina Faso is no longer in a phase of silent expansion by armed groups, but in a phase of open contest and constant pressure, are we looking at a country being overwhelmed, or a country that has reached the point where it is actively resisting, even as the fight becomes more difficult? It points to a country that is no longer being shaped quietly from the outside, but one that is now actively shaping the fight, even if the cost of that shift is higher in the short term. Because this is what the middle phase of a conflict looks like. Not victory, not collapse, but confrontation becomes visible everywhere at once. Dortanga fits into that pattern. The attack was real. The losses were real. But so was the response that followed, and so is the structure that continues to exist despite repeated pressure. If Burkina Faso were truly overwhelmed, the pattern would look different. Attacks would spread without resistance. Local defense structures would disappear. State response would slow down or become public. And over time, entire areas would fall silent. Not because they are peaceful, but because control had shifted completely. That is not what the current situation shows. Attacks happen, but they are met with reaction. Communities are hit, but they are not erased. Local fighters are targeted, but they continue to exist as part of the system. The conflict is active, visible, and unresolved, but it is not one-sided. And that is why the narrative matters so much. Because if every wave of violence is interpreted as a collapse, it hides the other half of the reality, the part where resistance, response, and adaptation are taking place at the same time. Burkina Faso is not at the end of this story. It is in the part where outcomes are still being decided, where each action triggers another, where neither side has secured full control, and where the cost of pushing back is still being paid in real time. So when people look at Dortanga, they can choose to see only the destruction, or they can look at the full sequence, the attack, the targeting of local resistance, the response that followed, and the broader pattern of pressure and pushback. And that choice leads to the final thought. Are we witnessing a country slipping beyond recovery, or a country enduring the most difficult stage of reclaiming control, where every step forward is tested before it can hold? Let us know in the comments section. How do you see these attacks? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If so, subscribe.
If so, HHN Special Report. Now, I think we got to come back home to United States Corporation, the United States of America, because we've been doing news all over the world. We was in UK, we flew to Australia, then Africa. Now it's time to come back home. We did news all over the world. All right. Oh, we should be good. It tried to kick me out. I think we got one more piece. I think we got to come back home with it.
You see, Mr. Powers, I love gold. Despite these striking similarities there, that is actually not Donald Jeffrey Trump. I love gold so much that I even lost my genitalia in an unfortunate smelting accident. Hence the name Gold Member. But you could be forgiven for believing it was, because today, Trump just got caught feeding his own personal gold fixation by plundering it from Venezuela.
We signed the first licenses for critical minerals to start flowing and precious metals. On Friday, there was $100 million of gold that came from Venezuela to the United States.
Yeah, which begs the question, why in the world is Donald Trump plundering precious metals and $100 million worth of gold from Venezuela? Surely he could just, I don't know, smelt down the Oval Office and probably pay off half of the national debt, right?
You might have noticed some changes to the Oval Office since President Trump moved back in. Specifically, more and more gold, ornaments on the walls and adorning the fireplace, door frames.
I love gold. Gold Member.
It's outlined in gold paint.
You look behind me, see the nice gold curtain? If you want to look into a nice foundation, well, the answer is a bit more complicated and criminally more convoluted than you might think. So let's smelt it all down after you smash like and subscribe to join.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of fucking criminals, went over there and fucked up Venezuela for no fucking reason, talking about they shipping fentanyl, but fentanyl coming from China funneled through Mexico to come here. So what did Venezuela do? They did nothing. We went over there, blew up some shit, kidnapped the nigga and his bitch, and changed the regime. Overnight, give it up for America. America, fuck yeah. Killing is the only way. Fuck this fucking country, dog. This goddamn corporation. My revolution sounds like motherfucking inciting. So if America is a corporation, let's talk like a corporate motherfucker. If this is a corporation, then I recommend that we do a hostile takeover. Does that sound better, my good sir? Yes, it sounds better because the government is shallow and pedantic. I agree, shallow and pedantic. Trump had the nerve to call Keir Starmer a loser with no friends. Keir Starmer should have said, I'd rather be that than a pedophile. A pedophile loser. But still, Starmer's a fucking wanker. Sadiq Khan, the mayor, is a fucking wanker also. And everybody over there that's still trying to promote this digital ID and age verification and fucking with people's internet over there, y'all some fucking wankers. Nigga, I'm a grown-ass person. I'm a grown-ass man. If you got grown-ass women over there being treated like they're fucking children. They're letting in immigrants, that is motherfucking intimidating teachers, fucking with girls, stabbing motherfuckers in the street. And and they're letting out criminals. like what the fuck? Starmer's a fucking wanker. Well, let's keep going.
American resistance. And let's start here with, you can't make this shit up. What Trump's Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burnham, claims these extracted resources will be used for. That's for both industrial purposes as well as other commercial uses. Venezuela's got $500 billion of resources of gold, but they've also got other critical minerals, bauxite for aluminum, which we need for defense and for consumer goods. They've got coal resources that can be used to help generate power, again, to help us win the AI arms race with China. Holy shit! I guess when they say make America great again, they mean make it the British Empire, because that is some exploitative colonial bullshit. Or as Fox News resident douchebag Jesse Waters puts it, when whitewashing and watering it down, we're just taking the spoils of war. Trump says take the oil. Democrats call that imperialistic. We call it common sense. We won spoils after World War II. We told our allies, lose the colonies. We took half Japan's gold they stole, built military bases on everyone's turf, and pegged the world currencies to the dollar. Was that fair? Right, in classic Fox News fashion, if it was okay in World War II, it's okay now. Spoils. If Venezuela didn't want us to take their gold, they shouldn't have started a war.
Mr. Secretary, last March, the president invoked the Alien Enemies Act, a notorious wartime law last used for Japanese internment. He said that he was responding to the Maduro regime's supposed invasion or other acts of war against the United States.
And they then was making up names like Trey De La Agua. Yeah, motherfucker over there fucking up shit. Yes, Trey De La Agua. And then through further investigation, came to find out like what the motherfucker Trey De La Agua really meant was the fucking politicians working with our government. So we was Trey De La Agua. You can't make this shit up. The fucking shit is fucking wild. But Trey De La Agua. And even if it's not that story, they still probably could have cooked that shit up in the CIA op. Like, yo. But it still don't change the fact that we went over there and bombed their ass for no reason. And motherfucking took the leader and his bitch out their fucking homes. I call that kidnapping. And a whole bunch of other shit.
But in recent weeks...
But there was nothing coming from Venezuela.
repeatedly said that we are not at war with Venezuela. Are we currently at war with Venezuela? No, we're not in a state of war in Venezuela.
Okay, cool. That's right. It wasn't a war, and they didn't start it. We did. So we're just these spoiled children stealing the spoils. But why would the shining beacon of fairness and morality on this hill that is the American imperialist war machine do that?
This morning, as we approach America's 250th birthday, a new coin could soon feature President Trump. The Federal Commission of Fine Arts, whose members were appointed by Trump, has approved the 24-karat commemorative gold coin, despite backlash from Democrats who question whether it's legal.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Did they want to put the Epstein guy on a gold coin?
Look no further than Donald Trump's Jeffrey Epstein Memorial Ballroom. At the Jeffrey Epstein Memorial Ballroom, we specialize in middle school dances, sweet 16 parties, quinceañeras, beauty pageants.
Oh my God.
And so much more. Make your event magical with the Epstein Ballrooms.
Oh, what the fuck?
Sweet 16.
Hold on, wait.
The Donald Trump's Jeffrey
Wait a
Epstein
minute.
Memorial Ballroom. At the Jeffrey Epstein Memorial Ballroom, we specialize in middle school dances, sweet 16 parties, quinceañeras, beauty pageants, foam parties, and so much more. Make your event magical with the Epstein Ballroom's Diddy Baby Oil Flume. Join DJ TJ as he DJs all ages shows.
Look, I hate to be so vulgar here, but this really seems like less of an
Epstein
investment
Ballroom.
opportunity for the American people, as Doug Burnham puts it, and more like Donald Trump is trying to compensate for something.
This is a commemorative coin featuring Donald Trump that was just formally approved by the president's hand-picked Commission of Fine Arts, and they want this coin to be a big deal.
My motion to approve this as presented, and with the strong encouragement that you make it as large as possible, all the way to 3 inches in diameter.
Why did you body shame him? Why did you do that? And that's not something I would normally do. You know what I mean? I only did it because he called me a liar. Hey, Mr. Trump, all you have to do to prove I'm lying right now, drop your pants.
Okay, but if we take Burgum at his word, it is clear that it is not the American people benefiting from this extraction of Venezuelan resources. It's just the Epstein class.
So they're rich in minerals. That's creating opportunities for investment, for human capital and financial capital in their country haven't seen. And now on Monday, in tomorrow, they're introducing the...
Did anybody catch that? For human capital, for financial capital. You know, like when people talk like that, I'd be like, you say human like you another race or something. You know, like, are you a reptilian? You know what I'm saying? It's like with a motherfucker, you know, like human. What? You know, it just always just like let me know that like I think a motherfucker's an alien, man. I'm sorry.
Similar kind of change in regime, the laws for all of the critical minerals in mining. And so when we were down there this week with both oil and gas executives.
And then you think about the Anunnaki story and all the other crazy alien stories like, my planet was fucked up. We needed to come to people's planets and mine for minerals. And everybody is mining for gold, minerals, and all this shit. It's like, yeah, it's like there is no, it's like, y'all been mining forever. Which lets me know that this earth, if it wakes up and Mother Gaia choose to just motherfucker swallow us all, just welcome it. Okay, just welcome it. I prefer you to wake up and give me a power ring like Captain Planet. You know, Gaia, the spirit of the earth, gave rings to like 5 teenagers, and they was toppling down corporations and you know, like I'm gonna use it to stop all these evil shits and let our powers combine. Earth, fire, wind, water, heart, go. I'm sorry, I'm so fucking sorry, but still, no. This earth needs some help. Help me. Let's go.
From the U.S. and the top mining executives, these folks are excited about getting back to Venezuela. And I tell you, the people of Venezuela, they are going to be putting up a statue to President Trump as a great liberator.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Okay, aside from Doug needing to get Trump's gold member out of his mouth at the end there, he is saying the quiet part quite loudly there, because those comments came as the U.S. deepens ties with Venezuela's interim president, Delcy Rodriguez, who spoke virtually to a crowd in Miami today to court American investors eyeing her country's precious metals and minerals. And the timing of it all gets even more suspicious when you realize that the price of gold just jumped today thanks to Trump's little excursion in Iran. Gold prices climbed on Wednesday as declining oil prices helped temper worries about persistent inflation, following reports that Washington is working on a proposal to end the Middle East conflict. I mean, I don't want to call that and the suspicious timing of Trump's gold coin getting approved by his appointed panel any kind of market manipulation, but it sure as shit wouldn't be the first time.
We turn now to a mystery in the oil markets and the suspicion that some people are getting very rich by trading on inside information. In the minutes before President Trump's announcement Monday that the U.S. would postpone strikes against Iranian energy targets, traders suddenly bet hundreds of millions of dollars on oil prices falling, which is exactly what they did.
Yeah. So while limp dictator Von Goldmember here sits and plays King Leopold, gutting Venezuelan resources like they're the fucking Congo, you get to pay higher prices for gas and groceries and get your healthcare snatched away while your social security dwindles. ICE gets $75 billion to terrorize your neighbors and hell, maybe even murder them. And that fat fuck gets to play Ponzi scheme Monopoly with the global fucking economy while he builds his grand ballroom dedicated to his former best friend Jeffrey Epstein. Can we at least stop pretending like this government works for the people? These motherfuckers aren't even working for America. It's themselves till they fucking die. And at the rate they're pissing people off, that might be sooner rather than later.
Burn it down! Burn that motherfucker down. Viva la revolution. Now, shouts out to everybody. I'm about to get up out of here. And hope everybody had a cool day, cool afternoon, cool evening, and cool night. Shout out to everybody in the chat. And much love to my UK correspondent, Vanta. Fuck YouTube. Fuck the haters for reporting her channel. But she'll be back. You know what I'm saying? We know I got to get my love. But she's here in spirit. You already know what it is. Shout out to Live and Learn. Shouts out to Amber. Shouts out to GBA Radio. And shout out to everybody that's gonna watch on the playback. Everybody that stopped by. Shout out to Dr. Chocolate. You know, I think I saw a notification her on a community post saying that I was live to come through. You know what I'm saying? You know, we was everywhere today. We went to the UK, went to Australia. You know what I'm saying? Went to Burkina Faso, went to Niger, went to Nigeria, and we made it back here to the United States Corporation. America, fuck no. Terrestrial game is through. But anyway. But shout out to everybody. And we will get up out of here. I don't want my motherfucking shit to motherfucking freeze up, you know, because I've been here for like at least probably like 2 hours. And you know, I got a weird feeling that shit gonna fuck up. So like when I'm about to grab me something to munch on, holler at my UK correspondent, and then I'm gonna get to the music, and I catch y'all in a minute. If I find some more news, if it's some breaking news, I know Trump was in the middle of some type of conversation. You know, like when I went live, I was like, "Fuck it, what are you talking about?" I thought it was gonna be a clip, but like he was talking live. I was like, "Nigga, fuck Trump. Let me go live and talk about that nigga anyway." So like if he says something important or says something funny and it's breaking news, I might do another live later. But I'm about to grab me something to munch on. And pause. I'm about to grab me something to eat. Pause. I'm about to get some food. And then I'm gonna work on some music. And I'll catch y'all in a minute. Peace. Oh yeah, I forgot. You already know how I ended. Mic check. I walk around the streets with my black tech nine by the waistline. Look at the hype shit. I never claimed to be the best type of rapper, but have to show the motherfuckers what I'm after. I'm after the gold, and after that, the platinum. Beef after that, Hurricane G packs the gats up. Blow. Trigger bang, bang. HHN Special Report. Much love to my UK correspondent, Vanta. Much love to the UK. I know it's 7 o'clock over there in the UK, so I know you about to get your grill bone, grab a coffee. Much love. I'll catch you in a minute. Shout out to everybody in the chat, and everybody's going to watch on the playback. HHN Special Report.